This gets fire.
What's that? What's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that? What's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother,
Stay humble, huh? Stay humble, huh?
Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of El Bins. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well, recovering from the Christmas time. You only got a couple of days because it's New Year's Eve. You got to do it all over again. But yeah, big up to everybody, man. Smash these likes up on the way in. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well. If you're new, make sure you guys are subbing up to Nobbin's channel as well. How you doing, mate? You good, yeah?
Yes, doing very good. It's post-Christmas time. We don't know what day it is or date it is, but all we do know is that City are back, hello, hello, and rivals are upset, and we're signing Semenyo.
Rivals are rattled, bro. You know what it is, yeah? Like, it's, I always say this a lot, yeah, but like, it's actually so true. But like, when we're rubbish, yeah, nobody speaks about 115. Nobody speaks about anything. No one speaks about Oil Club or Pepsi Check. But as soon as we start winning football matches again, bro, it's relentless. It's so obvious. It's got to a point now where it's just like, it's almost like a comedy act. You know what I'm saying? I see so many of these guys on Twitter getting rattled, bro. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, man. We win a few fucking games and they're all on our neck again. It's mad. Yeah, they're so rattled. You know why it is, yeah? Because they're scared, bro. They're legit. They're legit. They're actually scared of what we're doing, mate. Because they're watching us now, yeah, on an 8-match winning streak, yeah. And they was all telling me, I'm probably telling you guys the same thing. But all the rival fans were like, oh, no, City can't do that this year. City can't do 8 matches, 10 matches, 12 matches winning streak. Yeah, well, we're already on an 8-match winning streak. Now it's like, oh, no. I meant Prem only. I meant Prem. Nah, you're just coping, bro. It's a coping mechanism, mate. That's what it is. So yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. And obviously, like I say, City on an 8-match winning streak now, guys. I think it's 6 matches in the Premier League. Obviously 8 in all competitions. But positive signs, mate. Positive. Are you as positive as I am right now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm enjoying the football that we're playing. I think that we're looking good. I think even Forest away could have been a very, indeed, it was a very tricky game. Yeah. Potential banana skin game, as they say. It's a post-Christmas game. You know, certain players have certain kilos, as Guardiola's been suggesting, maybe. And plays looked a little bit sloppy, not as sharp, a bit rusty. But I felt that ultimately we did deserve the win in the end. And that game didn't, because it's not like that was a game which followed all these other performances where we were struggling to get over the line, like having to win in the last second. That did feel more like we were playing well up until that point, and this was one of those games where you just have to get the win on the day. It doesn't really matter how you perform, and so we have done it. We've just only got like 1 or 2 games now before Doku comes back, I believe, and based on the title of this stream, hopefully by the time Semenyo comes as well. So if we can just like get wins away against Sunderland, who are massively depleted, and then I don't know if we're going to have them available for Chelsea at home, but then I think thereafter we definitely are going to have them available, because I think the Chelsea game's the 4th, and I don't know if that's too early for Doku and or Semenyo. I don't know what's happening there, but certainly if we can get past Sunderland, and then we'll see what happens that'd be great because we'll have weathered the storm of being without Doku, who has been one of our best players this season, and we'll still continue this winning streak. So I think we're in a really positive place as a club, as a team. And yeah, I'm definitely positive about just like generally how City have been so far this season. 100%. It's looking good right now. It's in what could have been a potential, may well still be, transitional year. Lots of new signings coming in, blah, 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 blah. I think we're looking pretty good this season overall.
Yeah, no, me too. I completely agree. This season could have turned into a bit of a transition year, and some people said it was a transition year. I firmly believe, that is. I don't like that term, transition year. I don't like it because, this is the elite level of football and the sport. Like, bro, you've got to try and find a way to make it work, and that's down to Pep Guardiola. And I never really believed that this was a transition year. I said you can't spend, in my opinion, 200 million in January. Yeah, whatever it was, another 200 million in the summer, bringing all these top players and then just be shit. You know what I mean? And this is why, like, kind of not really giving it to Liverpool either. You know what I mean? Because I think you've got to make it work, and Pep Guardiola is making it work. You know what I mean? And I think, obviously it was always going to take a little bit of time. And I always, one thing that I did say as the season got going is that, just stay in there, stay in touching distance of whoever's top of the league. We don't need to be top of the league at Christmas or New Year's Day. All right, granted, it's nice. Yeah, of course it is. You know what I mean? You want to be top. You know what I mean? I don't want to be second. I want to be top of the league, yeah? But just stick in there. Yeah, stick in there, because at some point this team is going to click into gear. And we've said this all season. This team is going to click into gear, and I think at some point this team's going to start playing unbelievable football. Yeah, I think we've got the players to make it work. The question was always, would we be too far away? And right now we're right there with Arsenal, and they're getting, a bit lucky, however you want to describe it, with some of their results at the moment with the goal scorers and that. And, we have our own fortune, of course, but I think we're looking better actually than I think people are giving us credit for. I see people talking about our defense or our attack or whatever, like various different things. I actually think we're a pretty good team at the moment, to be honest with you. And I think that's proven by the fact that we're eight wins in a row. And that's included some difficult places to go as well. And as you say, the last couple of games have been without Jeremy Doku, who's probably been, top 3, top 4 players for Manchester City this season. So, I mean, guys, we will get onto Semenyo later in the show. I just want to stick with the weekend's result, but there is some breaking news coming out from Simon Bajowski, obviously very, very good source when it comes to Manchester City. Manchester City are looking to wrap up a deal for Antoine Semenyo in talks today, speaking to representatives of the player and Bournemouth officials to try and negotiate a January transfer. That's literally just dropped a few minutes ago. So nice. we will go into more detail on that later on. But I just want to stick with the weekend's fixture because, as you said, it was a tough game, wasn't it, Forest? But we got the 3 points, which was the main thing. I mean, it had all the hallmarks of a banana skin. Not Boxing Day, but, Boxing Day fixture, 27th, away at Forest, 12:30 kickoff, and we obviously missed Doku as well. So it wasn't the best performance in the world, but you're not really looking for that, are you, when you go somewhere like that on a day like that? You're just looking for the 3 points. And you know what, man? I felt we deserved it. I've seen some people say we didn't deserve to win the game. Like a draw was a fair result. I actually disagree. I thought we deserved it, man. I thought we put it on them much more than they did.
I think so, definitely. I think that what I really like, so we know that there were a couple of changes that Pep made in that second half. And I think that if there was a team trying to go for the win in that second half, really, it was only City, in my opinion, certainly towards like the final 20 minutes anyway. Forest were seemingly more than happy to just keep the status quo as things were. Whereas it was Guardiola who decided to change the setup of like where our players was positioned. He took off Reinders. He brought on Savio. That moved Shirky out to the left. That moved Foden more centrally. So all of a sudden, City are looking like a more cohesive offensive unit. And that's a very attacking change that you only make if you are trying to win the game, whereas Forest weren't really responding like that. So I think that it was City who were trying to go for the win, and it worked as well. That gave Shirky a bit more freedom to roam because he went to the left. That put Foden in his best position. You actually now have like some proper width on that right side from Savio. And I think in that final, I'm going to say like from the, no, in fact, that there was like a stat. There was something like from the You know, that shot that Milenkovic had, it was in like the 75th minute, I don't know, something like that. It was like from the corner and it went wide, took a deflection, led to another corner, if you can remember that. It's like the 75th minute, 76th minute. That was the last touch that Forest had in our half for like another 10 minutes, something like that. So we were properly onto them, and it was us who were constantly forcing them into corners and that sort of thing, and forcing saves on the goalkeeper, like that one save that Shirkeem and Foden were able to force a save from, and then the corners after the corners, and we've gotten a lot better at set pieces this season, and it's no coincidence that City scored from another one, targeting Gvardiol, leaving a good shooter of the ball on the edge of the box.
Did you notice that we tried that a few minutes earlier, didn't we? Because Foden did that corner and it was awful. He just,
well, yeah, it was
obviously
pretty
that's
bad.
the risk with that set piece that you're trying to do. It's a bit of a risk, because if you slightly if you go for the middle of the box and you slightly overhit it, the ball's going to go to the back of the box and someone can get there. But if you aim for the guy at the back post and you overhit it, it's going out for a goal kick
and it looks terrible. It's like what are you
terrible.
doing?
And we'd literally done that 2 minutes ago. And I was on the watch along and I was like, what the fuck are we doing? We'll just get the ball in the box, typical old school. Just get the fucking ball in the box. And then we did it again. And then obviously it fucking worked and it was nice. And
exactly.
Yeah, our set pieces have improved this season for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And as you say, like because the one before that, Shirky is just targeting Gvardiol before that and thinks Murillo, who does well, because if Murillo doesn't intercept it, Gvardiol is going to get there. And then, as you say, it comes to Foden. Foden this time picks out Gvardiol, and it's clearly orchestrated by City. It's a very nicely cushioned header by Gvardiol. And when you've got quality shooters from outside the box or just inside the box, like Foden, like Shirky, and hopefully when he comes back into the side, we can add Rodri to that as well. Even Reinders when he's on the pitch, you become a really strong threat from those set plays, and we were screaming for that at the start of the season. Like how many times we were saying we scored like more own goals than set piece goals, something like that. And Arsenal, on the other hand, they were always making the most out of their set pieces, and it was like this joke in the City community that we just aren't good from them. But now we are, and we had to be, because Forest have conceded, like I can't remember what the exact stat was, but I looked at all the goals they conceded like under Dyche, and it's around 50% of the goals they conceded in all competitions were from like a set piece or some sort of crossing situation. So
that's weird, because you don't really associate a Sean Dyche team being weak at set pieces.
Yeah. So it's, in fairness, it's not just down to Dyche. It's Forest this season have been really bad from set pieces. So under Ange, under Nuno as well, it's just like a Forest thing, and Dyche is trying to improve them. But yeah, I'm sure he will improve them. But that was definitely something to take advantage of, and we ultimately did. And that was, again, that wasn't luck, that was targeted. So to people who say we don't deserve to win, I don't think I agree, because I felt like we were going for the win. I felt like we made the changes which improved us, and we targeted their frailties to great effect. So in my opinion, we deserve to win.
I agree. I listen, after the game, I was like, what saves did Donnarumma have to make, really? Like, what I mean? There wasn't too many saves that he really had to make.
One.
He made one off Anderson, which was it was a poor effort anyway. He didn't really hit it with any venom, did he? Really, he went for placement, and he should have hit it with power. And again, a lot of people like to talk about Igor's performance and that. Oh, he fucking destroyed us and that. Like, but real talk, yeah. Like most of the time, he was just fucking. Yeah, all right, he bullied Diaz and Gvardiol a little bit, but like he didn't really do much outside of that. I know he was involved in the cross for the equaliser, but like in terms of like getting shots off or anything, I don't remember him doing anything like that. So to be honest with you, yeah, like I thought we did deserve it. I think people are being a bit harsh on City, saying draw was a fair result. I think City did deserve to win, and I thought like you say, to that last 20 minutes, mate, as well. Yeah, we were fucking cooking them, to be honest with you. Like, Foden really got into the game, because I didn't think Foden played particularly well, mate. First, like 45 minutes, and then second half he got better, and then he actually, as soon as Tijani Reinders went off, Foden just boom, it just
because he was moved into his preferred position. Absolutely, I agree.
Well, we needed him to step up as well, because obviously at that point, I think we still needed a goal. I think at the time,
yes.
Yeah, we did. We still needed a goal at the time, and obviously when we got the goal, we needed players to control the game, and obviously Foden did that, man. But yeah, to be honest with you, man, just watching the team at the moment, I'm enjoying watching it. You know what I mean? Like last year, like there was times when you're watching the City, bro, and I'm not speaking for everyone, I speak for myself, yeah. But there was times I was watching City last year, and I didn't feel a connection with the players. You know what I mean? I'm watching the players, I'm watching the team and I'm like, I don't feel like you're fighting for the badge. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, it's a privilege to be wearing that kit. You know what I mean? And last year there was times I was watching City and I was like, it's all very stale. There's not much fight going on. You know what I mean? And at the moment, I'm enjoying watching City. I believe in the players, and you know, a lot of the players were there last year. This is the strange thing about it. And you know what? Pep's actually spoke about this himself in the press conference, and he's saying, you know, the morale of the team and the fight in the team is you know, night and day compared to last year. But you actually look at the players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole back four was there last year. Bernardo was there last year. Nico came in January. Foden was there last year. Haaland was there last year. The only players that weren't there last year was Cherky, Reinders, and Donnarumma. Do you know what I mean? But there seems to be such a difference in the way the team is playing and fighting, and the morale and that. And you know, you seen Haaland after the game. Haaland couldn't get a kick of the ball on Saturday. Look how buzzing he was after the game because of the win. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't like, oh, fuck you know what I mean? I didn't get my goal. You know, you didn't create me no chances. This is crap. I hardly touched the ball. The guy was buzzing that we won the football match, and there seems to be a real togetherness about the team. And obviously, you know, Rodri's coming back as well. That's going to be a major boost. I think Semenyo coming on. We'll get onto that soon, guys. Don't worry. I think that's going to be a major boost. So yeah, and then obviously we'll have the boys coming back from AFCON. Yeah, shout out Ait Nouri yesterday. Played all right. He played well. Shout out the boy Mahrez. Yeah, goal, 1-1-0. Should have had an assist as well. Robbed. But yeah, to be honest, mate, like the vibes are good. Completely different to last year, anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And I do, obviously, winning games helps, of course. But like we were sometimes winning games last season, and it did all, even like the first game of the season, I did feel like, oh, there's something not quite right about the setup here, and so it came to pass. I think, did you mention it that you feel like there's going to be a book, like a pet book made about that season, and we're going to learn quite a lot. It's been alluded to, like I think at the start of the season, like it came out that the players were, quote, like confused about the instructions from like the coaching staff and that sort of thing, and there's obviously been like a rejuvenation there. So there was the Kyle Walker situation. There was like Jack Grealish discontent as well. There was everything going on with Foden. It seemed like everything all happened all at once in order to create this big bag of shit, essentially. So I don't think it was just like one thing, but we know about some of the things. As you've said before, there's probably quite a lot we also didn't really know about at all, and we may not know about for like another 5 years or so. And that will be interesting when that all gets revealed and that all of that dirty laundry all gets aired. You know, what was actually happening that year to make City go really just be the complete opposite of what you would expect them to be. But that was clearly an outlier. City are back. It was mad that people thought we were never going to be back. Look, are we as good as we once were? Perhaps not. But hey, we are still potentially good enough to win the title. And that's all you really need to be good enough to be, like in the context of an individual season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what's mad as well? By the way, chat, smash these likes up if you've not done so already, man. Hit the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Yeah, big up to everybody. Subscribe to Nobbins as well, yeah. And you know what's crazy as well? The one major concern I had like recently about this team, because there's not many concerns, is Nico Gonzalez looks absolutely knackered. And then look, the weekend, Rodri's back on the bench. So even the things that like I am a little bit worried about, because as we all know, if we don't have a DM, we're cooked. Like, the only thing I'm really worried about, well, one of the only things I'm worried about, Nico Gonzalez being potentially overplayed. Boom, Rodri's now coming back at the perfect time just to take the edge off it. Because you know what? We don't need to rush Rodri back. Yeah, because I think at the start of the season, I don't think Pep fully trusted Nico G in that position. Yeah, that's why obviously Rodri was playing a lot of the games. And that's why Rodri played the 3 games in a week. Yeah, because obviously I don't think Pep really trusted Nico G at that point, which is fair enough. Yeah, because Nico G last year was all right. Yeah, he was all right, but he wasn't like amazing or whatever. Yeah, but now I think Nico Gonzalez's performances for me would make it crazy for Pep to rush Rodri back in, because he's now playing at a high level. So we can integrate Rodri back into the team differently to how he did at the start of the season. Because like I say, at the start of the season, Pep was just like, get Rodri back in the team, get him back in the team, which is fair. I get it. Yeah, but obviously it was the wrong decision. He doesn't need to do that now, because Nico G's proven to Pep and proven to all City fans and everything that he's good enough, more than good enough to play in that position. So rather than Rodri coming back and starting games like he did at the start of the season, bring him back and just take the edge off of Nico G. So, play Nico G for maybe 60 minutes, put Rodri on for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Or something like that. I don't know exactly how you do it, but you don't need to rush Rodri back in. And that benefits Rodri because you're putting less pressure on him and you're not starting him game after game after game like you did at the start of the season. And it also allows us just to reduce Nico Gonzalez's minutes because he does look knackered, man. Like, bro, the way he's running around that pitch for 90 minutes every time, he looks cooked at the moment, mate. I think he needs a break, but obviously we've not been able to give him a break because Rodri's been injured and I think Kovacic got injured as well for good measures. So, yeah, that's great news. You know what I mean? And then when Doku comes back, and we were led to believe that the Doku injury was only a 3-week injury, so he should be back. Maybe Chelsea's a stretch. Yeah, maybe Chelsea's a stretch, but maybe the weekend after. Yeah, he should be back for then. And of course, if we get this Semenyo deal locked up in the first couple of days, and all the reports, I don't know if you've seen all the reports, but all the reports are suggesting that Semenyo wants this deal done quickly. Like, people are saying, oh, should we let Semenyo stay at Bournemouth so he can play against Arsenal? I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing. So, like even the things that I am a little bit like, oh, I'm a little bit concerned about that. Even that's like gonna be pretty much gone in the next week or two because Rodri's back and we're gonna get a new winger.
Yeah, and who would have thought at the start of the season that we'd be desperate for Rodri to get back to fitness, not so that he can obviously get back in the team and improve us, and that's still relevant, but because we're actually looking at it from the perspective of getting back into the team ASAP to give Nico a rest. I don't think that any of us would have predicted that at the start of the season. So it goes to show how fantastic Nico has been in that regard. And I think the possibilities for what this City midfield could be when you have both Rodri and Nico are available, it just gives us more options there. I'd love to see a midfield 3 of Rodri, Nico, and Foden, for example. I think that could be fascinating. It would mean Bernardo not playing in midfield, and Bernardo has been pretty important for our midfield this season, so maybe it's not optimal, but I'd still like to see it. And I want Nico to be given a go in his actual position, because I still think that even though we're seeing really good performances from him, I think that there's an even better player in there potentially when he's partnered with Rodri and played a bit more advanced up the field. So I think that could be even better for City. It could maybe be the answer to some of the defensive midfield concerns we have had this season. That might go a long way to remedy them. So that's also what I'm really interested in and excited about, for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. And there's 2 points to that. The first point is that Nico Gonzalez says he prefers playing in that 8 position. He said it in his interview when we signed him. You know what I mean? I know people will be like, nah, LB's a better 6. I'm not saying he's a better 6. I'm saying he prefers to play in the 8. He said it in his interview when he signed.
That's why he played at Porto. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so there's that. But then there's also the case of, I don't think this season you're going to be able to play Rodri in that 6 position and just leave him like you've done in the past. You know what I mean? And I know sometimes he's had a Gundogan next to him or a Bernardo Silva next to him, right? But obviously, when you've got Rodri behind you, you know that I'm going to go a little bit further forward here. I'm going to try and get involved in the attack a little bit more here, yeah? And Rodri will sort it. And he did 9 times out of 10. Yeah, he did sort it out. I think this season, just when he's getting back up, because I'm starting to think you might not see the full best Rodri this season, man. It might be next year, but whatever. You might get close, but you might just want to have somebody a little bit closer to him just to take that workload off him. Do you know what I mean? Because again, he's coming back from a bad injury, mate. Yeah, he's done his ligaments, bro, and then he's got another injury on top of that. So for me, I just think I think that Nico Gonzalez Rodri combination could be really, really good. Yeah, and again, I don't know, it might not be, it might be crap, yeah, but I do think we need to try it out to see how it works. But yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's nice to see. We will come on to the Semenyo news in a minute, but there's a couple of things that I just want to chat with before we move on. And one of the points is Ryan Cherky, mate. Like, I think we're going to be speaking about him a lot after matches and on our match reviews and stuff. But Ryan Cherky, I mean, he wins the game for us. He gets the assist. He gets the goal. I mean, like, where do you see the potential for this player? Because I'm already saying I think he's the most technically gifted player I've ever seen at Manchester City, mate. When it comes to that pure technical ability, people have said to me David Silva, but David Silva was very left-footed biased, wasn't he? And it was amazing. But Cherki's got both feet to the point where some people don't even know like what his dominant foot is, even if he has one. KDB, yeah, but I don't think he was as technical. And this doesn't mean he's as good as these players yet, by the way, chat. This is just talking about the actual talent, yeah. Talk to me about Cherki's performance and like where do you think he could go? Because I'm already starting to think mad things, bro, about this player and where he could go because I think he's that gifted.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of Cherki. I think he's got a supremely high ceiling. I don't really know what the limit is in that sense. I think I would go as far to say that, depending on what City won in the season, I think that he could absolutely win the Ballon d'Or in the future. I think that he is that quality of player. That does depend on either him being France's best player at like a World Cup or Euros or City winning the Champions League. But I can definitely see that 100%. Like, City win the Champions League and Cherki is, the best playmaker in the world, in respect of assists. So that's going to push him over the edge to win the Ballon d'Or. I can 100% see that. He's 22 years old. So time is it on his side. There's no doubt about that. He's only going to get better. I think the best is yet to come. I think we've seen a lot of really good stuff from him. I'm pretty sure we're only scratching the surface here, though, with what he's capable of. Once he's more used to and accustomed with how we set up like off ball as well, I think like the sky's the limit. If he can somehow learn how to press more so like as a more central midfielder, I'm just handed a cinnamon roll there, FYI, in case anyone's interested in that. Yeah, absolute go-to behaviour by Mrs. Dobbins there. Big up. I think that I'm so excited for what the future holds for him. I jokingly tweeted out saying, Ryan Giggs, we're coming for your Premier League assists record. And I jokingly said that. But if he's here for like a decade, then that could happen. It's not likely to happen. But I think Giggs has got 162 assists in the Premier League. So you'd have to get, 16, 17 average assists a season if you're here for a decade, which is a lot, obviously. I think De Bruyne's record was 21, something like that. So I'm asking for a lot there, but it could very well happen. This is the level of player that we are talking about, especially when he's got especially when he's got Haaland in front of him for, again, perhaps the next decade or so. There's a massive potential there. Unfortunately, and, I know it's blasphemy to compare De Bruyne and Cherki together. And of course, he's still got a long way to go. But we only had one season, really, of Haaland and De Bruyne together, really. Like one full season. The first season, that was it. Second season, De Bruyne missed half of it. And then the third season was last year, where it was like a massive anomaly and De Bruyne was in and out of the side due to injury anyway. So we only had 1 year of it and we won the treble. I'm not saying that Cherki can replicate that every single season, but I'm just saying that that's a pretty good yardstick for what you can achieve with, in my opinion, the best number 9 in the world. And between De Bruyne and Cherki, like the two best like playmakers, like final third passers in the world as well. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm pretty big on Cherki. I'm a big fan, and I was very convinced that the ceiling of this side was one that features Cherki. I still believe that. And I just hope he keeps going from strength to strength, because he's just very fun to watch as well. All analysis aside, he's just like a joy to watch as well. Like
he is
even
very,
rivals love him.
Yeah, he is very, very fun to watch as a footballer. You know what I mean? And do we care about his best position? Because I've asked this question a lot since we signed him, and I feel like I'm kind of at the point where I kind of just don't care anymore about that answer at the moment. Yeah, maybe I will in the future as the season goes on, or maybe as the years go on and he gets older and more experienced. But I don't know, and maybe the chat can answer this as well. Are we bothered anymore? Or do we just want to see him on the pitch? If he plays on the right, cool. If he plays on the left, cool. If he plays in the middle, cool. Like, we're just not asked. Or do we, are we saying, nah, he needs to play here? Like, because I'm at the point, bro, where I don't think I care anymore. I just get him on a pitch. I think he makes something happen no matter where he plays.
Yeah, I think that it matters, but it only matters up to the point of optimizing him. So it doesn't really matter. You're still going to get like a very good performance from Shirky, even if you play him out and out right wing. He's only played there once this season, and that was against West Ham, where it was out and out right wing, and he hugged the touchline basically. And he was still really good in that game. Obviously, against West Ham, he was fantastic in that game. He was unlocked at left wing against Forest as well, and we know that he can also play centrally. So it doesn't matter to the point of you're still going to get like a Shirky that's like 75%, 80% of what he can possibly be. I would still say that because he's bow-footed, it would be a bit of a waste to just exclusively lock him down to one wing. And I think it's better if you can to grant him access centrally. But if you do have to play him just out at left wing or just out at right wing for whatever reason, you're still going to get a fantastic performance because his left foot is as strong as his right foot. He doesn't possess a weak foot. So it's the definition of versatility, and having two strong feet helps in that sense. So I think it matters to get the best out of him, but you're still going to get a fantastic Shirky and by extension a fantastic City side, regardless of where he plays.
Yeah, no, I hear it. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to come on to these super chats in a minute, man. Just quickly, Forest obviously had Anderson. I thought he had a great game, mate. To be honest with you, I've been on this guy since the start of the season when I watched him, and then I watched him again, and I think he's exactly what we're looking for. I've had to battle the Adam Wharton merchants, yeah, but I think I'm winning. I think I'm winning the battle on the Anderson v Wharton. What's best for City? And you know what's kind of crazy as well is Sky Sports News this morning have said that Manchester City are looking for a central midfield cover for Reinders in the transfer market. While the importance of the right back signing has been knocked down due to Matheus Nunes's impressive performances. Now, I don't think we're going to sign Anderson in January. I think there's zero chance of that. I think we'll go for him in the summer. But yeah, your thoughts on Anderson on Saturday, and maybe as just from based off what you've seen, because I think that position is because the thing is with the midfield thing, yeah, the midfielders, they seem to either really work or really not work in the case of Pep and Manchester City. And actually, if you actually look at, I was quite stunned at this, right? If you look at all the players that Pep signed, midfielders is actually like quite low on the sort of like defenders, midfielders, and attackers. It's kind of crazy how not that many midfielders we've actually signed. When you consider the importance of the midfield to a Pep Guardiola system, and obviously he was a midfielder himself back in the day. So yeah, your thoughts on Anderson? You rate him?
Yeah, of course. Big player. Yeah, big. I'm with you. I actually prefer Wharton as a player, but if the question is which is better suited for City, then I do think the answer is Anderson there, mainly because of his off-ball traits that he would provide. But I think we also saw against City that this isn't just like a player who's going to do all the dog work off-ball. He's also a fantastic player on the ball as well, like the pings that he was doing and the switches that he was achieving against us were really impressive, and they were posing us serious problems consistently throughout the game. Even like the way he's involved in their goal as well. Like his run is really clever to drag Nico O'Reilly away, so it leaves Hutchinson with all the space and time in the world. So I felt that he had a really good game against us, and I think that he's I don't know if you could name a better player for us who is available when you consider the fact that City probably need a homegrown player, and they certainly need a midfielder of his profile. So he ticks all of the relevant boxes. So it makes so much sense. I think there was a reason why we were trying to get Bellingham. We were trying to get Declan Rice. We were trying to go for this mold of midfielder. And okay, maybe Anderson wasn't first choice. Maybe he wasn't second choice, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We know that Ruben Diaz wasn't first or second choice, for example. So I think,
and just because you don't get your first choice doesn't mean you just can never sign anyone again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So you still got to sign a player. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree with you. Listen, I get the Wharton thing on the ball is like a joke. Yeah, like he's probably one of the best English players. Maybe he might be the best English player, like technically on the ball right now. Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, probably has been for the last maybe decade. Like his on the ball abilities is. Like, again, how he come out of Blackburn, mate? Yeah, I don't know how that's happened, mate, to be honest with you. But fair play to them. But yeah, but I'm not just looking for that. Yeah, I get that he's better on the ball. But Anderson's good on the ball as well, but I think he just has a little bit of more what I'm looking for. And you described it right. He's got that Bellingham, he's got that Rice, that bit of grit, and gets a little bit more stuck in than what, and in my opinion, and I think he does the box to box thing a little bit better as well, man. But yeah, anyways, that's where I'm at with that one. We'll see what happens. I don't think we're going to get him in January. I'd be amazed if we even launch a bid for him in January, to be honest. But yeah,
surely Forest, who are in a potential relegation battle, do not even entertain that. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, it's not going to happen. Right, let me get these super chats in then, boys, and then we'll come on to the news about Semenyo. This I can't believe just how much news there is this morning. This deal looks like it's picking up pace for sure. Simon Bajovsky's been speaking about it. Lyle Thomas at Sky Sports News, senior Sky Sports News editor, he's been speaking about it. Fabrizio's been speaking. Everyone's speaking about it. Yeah. Let me do these super chats first, though. Big up to you guys. Smash these likes up as well. Big up Chris, who says Pep needs to stop the Foden left wing gimmick. It's dead. Look at our last 20-25 minutes. We were cooking. Drop Bernardo or Reinders. We need the width. Big up, boys. Well, I guess one of the problems that we had is we don't have any fucking wingers. Yeah, because Doku's injured. Marmoushi's at AFCON. And he probably doesn't play on the wing anyway. And Savinio's not really in great form, although it is a bit better. So he kind of forced, really, wasn't he? But I agree. Nobody wants to see Foden on the wing no more, innit? Do you know what I mean? So, like you say there, last 20-25 minutes, I thought Foden was great. Yeah, I thought he was mega.
Definitely. And it's only because of Doku's injury that Foden's having to play this hybrid left wing / left attack midfield role, but he's not as suited to it as Doku, because the dynamic between O'Reilly and Doku can't exist, because they would always rotate with one another. Doku would go out wide, O'Reilly central. But if you do that with Foden, you're wasting your time, really. So it's just circumstance, unfortunately. Foden was playing fantastic, elite, world-class football before the Doku injury. Doku's got injured. Foden is a victim of his own versatility and utility, so he has to go there until Doku comes back. Maybe we'll see Cherki played there instead, then Foden just played in his actual position, because as we just established, Cherki's both-footed. But yeah, I don't know how much we can really blame Pep. It's more so the fact that Doku is injured and Marmoush is at AFCON. It's just unfortunate, and that's all.
Yeah. And Chris said, just need a winger. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Nah, facts. And obviously, we'll come on to it in a minute, but it looks like you're going to get your wish, bro. Big up to AK, says, morning, Lewis and Nobbins. You bro, call me Lewis, man. The hell?
He first named you. That's crazy.
He fucking first named me, man. Try to dox me on the web. What is going on here? Anyway, Semenyo, Doku, Haaland, Cherki, Foden, Savinho, our attacking options look stacked. Now we need to get a midfielder and we're set, says AK. Well, we'll probably do that in the summer, bro. Big up to you. Big up for the 9 months as well. Big up Ben Les, who says, hey, Nobbins, LB, tagged you in a post about Diaz analysis about the goal conceded, as I know that was a topic on your live. Would like you to know if you agree. Well, bro, I watched it back, and personally, listen, I don't think Diaz played well on Saturday. I thought it was one of his worst games of the season. But I'm not too sure, really what he did much wrong there, in my opinion. If you look at the Bournemouth players got the ball on the edge of the box, there's no midfield. So what is he meant to do? Just let the guy just dribble at the box and shoot from the edge of the box completely. I feel like Diaz was like, I don't know. And then, but to be fair as well, I think you've got to give credit to Forest, because at the same time, they had 3 players making a move on the box on 2 defenders, Gavardiol and O'Reilly. So that Igor, I think it was Igor, made the run across Gavardiol and behind Diaz, and he ended up getting the pass. And then there was another player who was just lingering around, and then obviously Hutchinson was at the back post. To be honest with you, I just kind of think that it was a well-worked goal from Forest. And sometimes you have to give credit to the opposition and just be like, fair enough, it was a good goal. Could we have done a little bit better? Yeah, but I don't really think Diaz done much wrong on that. And I think he had a bad game, but I can't really criticize Diaz for the goal personally. I don't know if you disagree or.
Yeah, I wasn't really, because I know that people in my chat were suggesting that perhaps it was Diaz, and maybe I'm just wrong here, but I felt that Diaz was in a pretty tricky situation there. He was in a pretty impossible situation. He was being dragged apart by a couple of players, and I think that you could argue it's more so to do with a structural issue. Like Pep even said in his post-match interview that, look, I changed it. It worked for the goal, but it also made us more vulnerable on the counter-attack. And that's literally what happened. Unfortunately, Reinders loses the ball on the edge of the box, and 2/3 of my midfield, Bernardo and Reinders, are basically in the box when the ball is lost. Nico is not able to stop Gibbs White. So it means that when Forest come in and around our box, like my midfield doesn't exist. So I think it's more of a structural thing. But if I were to put the blame at anyone's door, I would probably say it's more so Reinders' fault, because when he does track back, and that's nice, but Reinders is dragged over to the right side of the pitch where the ball is, and I feel like he should be going more so to left central midfield, which was his actual off-ball position anyway, because that's where Forest had all the players. So if you watch it back, Reinders is basically dragged towards Gibbs White, and he and Nico Gonzalez end up marking the same man, which is obviously redundant. Whereas if Reinders had gone over to the left, then he would have been there to stop Hutchinson. You can't blame O'Reilly because Anderson is dealing with O'Reilly. He's got to track the run of Anderson. So it's a tricky one. I don't know if there's it's definitely this individual's fault. Yeah. It's probably more so to do with the structure and the fact there was a decent counterattack from.
I'm also not someone who's a massive fan of blaming a player for a goal when they lost the ball on the edge of the opposition's box. Like, there's a fucking lot that's had to happen for the ball to go in our net. People are crashing it on Reinders and saying, Reinders, he lost the ball. It's like, he lost the ball on the edge. He didn't lose the ball on the edge of our box or in our own half. He lost the ball on the edge of their penalty area. Like, fucking hell, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of shit that's gone on before the ball's gone in our net. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Like I say, for me, I just think maybe you just got to give credit sometimes to the opposition. And there are little things that maybe we could have done. Could he not have lost the ball on the edge of the box? Maybe. Could Bernardo have got back quicker? Could Reinders have got back quicker again? Could Diaz have done something? Yeah. But fundamentally, I just think we got cooked on transition, as Travis said. And it was fucking good goal. Like, it was a good goal, man. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, anyway, let me go through some of these chats, man, before we get onto Semenyo. Right, where we at to? We got MCFC says Scousers got rejected. Now they're saying they ain't interested to save face. I'm familiar with the PR. All right, bro, we've seen it ourselves this summer with us and Verts, man. So the way that clubs work with propaganda and PR and all that kind of crap, is kind of mad. Yeah, but it's obvious when you've been watching football for a long time and you're on social media and you follow the journalists and you see what they say, it becomes almost laughable when you see it. You know what I mean? It's hilarious. And then, you know what I mean, you get it with Madrid a lot. When they miss out on a player, which is rare, they'll usually come out and say they don't like his injury record. They did it with Vita Hayes. They did it with Haaland. Like, it's just obvious, man. You see it all the time, bro. It's mad. But yeah, big up to you, mate. Big up to Ben Les. Says, I like Nico G, but he takes too many touches. He rarely checks his surroundings. Foden and Bernardo dropping deep to cover for him. Only one progressive pass. Is that an instruction? I'm not sure, bro. I actually think that Nico G in the last few matches has just looked absolutely knackered. I remember a couple of games ago, he probably had the worst game of the season. I can't remember who it was against. Maybe it was a West Ham. I can't remember who it was. Maybe a couple of games before that. I just think at the moment, Nico G is just mad fatigued. And I think the last few games he's played, he's been all right, but I don't think he's been as good as he was a month ago when he was proper on it. And I think that's just due to burnout. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably true because Pep's been subbing him off. Do you know what I mean? He subbed him off at Fulham. He subbed him off again against West Ham. And I think Pep's realising, that he's probably knackered. And that's why it's such a good thing that Rodri's come back. So, but I like Nico G, Benless, to be honest with you. He also says Semenyo creates separation so easily, especially when he attacks the byline. Issue is when he gets there and his options are well cooked because no one's in the box. Why is Haaland busy running away from the ball? Haaland runs to the back post. Haaland prefers the back post. That's what he does as a striker. And this is one of the problems I had with the Doku-Haaland thing last year. And in the first year is that Doku always crosses the ball off the left and it always got cleared away at the near post. And we didn't have anybody at the front post. Haaland's always at the back post. This year, we're getting players into that near post area. We've seen Foden get there. We've seen Reinders get there. Yeah, so it's better. But to be honest with you, mate, when it comes to Semenyo, I'm just on the small baby steps. Yeah, not in a patronising way, just in sort of like, bro, this guy this season has been so bad. Yeah, that in the last 4 or 5 games, I think he's improved. I think he's getting better. And I think we should just fucking just chill there with Semenyo. You know what I mean? Because, bro, a couple of months ago it was bad. So let's just see where he goes. But for me, he's got 6 months. He needs to put in a big 6 months, man. To be honest.
Can I just say,
yeah.
in fairness to him, I think he's played well since the Real Madrid game. That was
Yeah,
the game. Yeah,
I agree. That's
which is
the last 4 or 5 games. That is the Madrid game, innit? Yeah.
and that was like when because he was taken out to the side for a bit of time, wasn't he? Because the performances weren't really good enough. But then he was taken out to the side, and yeah, okay, he has been reduced more so to like cameos and like the occasional start of I think like a cup competition. I think he's been good, and in every single appearance he's made since then, like whether it's an important cameo or not, I think it's as you say, baby steps, but it's looking good. I thought he played well against Forest as well. To be fair,
yeah. No, I agree. I think you're right. I think since the Madrid game, I think he's played well. And he probably helps him, mate, coming on when we're winning, and he's not under mad pressure. Because when he's starting a game and he's under pressure to deliver, you know, when you're low on confidence, that's not good. It's probably a recipe for disaster, and that's kind of what you got. Now he's coming off the bench. We're winning. And Pep's probably just saying to him, listen, don't stress about creating a goal or scoring a goal. That's not your job. Just get the ball, carry the ball up the pitch, give me width, give me energy, work hard defensively. Like, it's kind of more the industrial side of the game. Well, as long as you work hard, which should be a given for any player at this football club, then you can't really fail. And I think that's where we're going. And again, I think we just need to take the baby steps. We're getting better. He's now putting 4, 5, 6 good performances off the bench. Maybe he'll get a start soon. And let's see what happens there, man. Big Up Ferg says, where are we with Marmoush being a flop or not? I know it might be harsh. I don't think he's a flop, because last year he was great for us. He's not played well since the Club World Cup. But we'll see what happens when he comes back from AFCON. I mean, obviously, Pep wasn't playing him before AFCON. I think it was like 8 games. He played about 60 minutes, which is kind of crazy. I think if he comes back from AFCON and he's still not getting any games, then I'll be like, yo, what the fuck's going on here? But it's probably too early to be saying that. But without him, we probably don't get Champions League football this year, mate, like from last season. So, yeah. But apparently he played well for Egypt. I didn't watch the game. But apparently he played well for Egypt in the first AFCON game. So Egypt are on today at 4 o'clock. I'm going to do a watch along for it. So we can watch him today. 4 p.m. second channel. More LB link in description. Did you watch it? Did you watch Algeria yesterday, Nobbins?
I did not know, but you told me that Nori had a good little cheeky game.
Yeah, Nori played well yesterday. You could tell he wasn't fully match fit, but he played well. He won the penalty. It was a 1-0 victory. Nice. He won the penalty. Nice bit of play, and then Mahrez obviously banged it in. Mahrez then got robbed of an assist, which is very sad. But 1-0 to Algeria. Bill Craig, who says Forest goal was good quality. Diaz, Gvardiol both had poor games. I disagree on the Gvardiol one, mate. Yeah, I agree with Diaz. I've seen a few people say Gvardiol, but I thought Gvardiol was one of our best players, to be honest with you. Yeah, all right, he struggled a little bit at times with Igor, but I think a lot of defenders are going to struggle with Igor this year because of the way he puts himself about. I thought on the ball, Gvardiol was exceptional. He played the pass into Turkey for the first goal, and I thought he was one of the only players that was progressing the ball up the pitch. So, yeah, respect your opinion, Craig, but I disagree on the Gvardiol one. Do you think Gvardiol played bad on Saturday?
No, I think I've seen him play better, but he did struggle sometimes off ball, but he was crucially involved in both our goals, and yeah, overall, I definitely felt he had as well, wasn't he? He literally his cushioned header is the assist. So yeah, definitely.
Interesting. Big up, Craig, and big up Henry as well for the 1 gifted. I appreciate it, man. Big up to Henry for the 1 gifted. Right, bro. Semenyo. Back in now, there's so much news this morning. Obviously, something's going down this morning. Let's start off with Fabrizio Romano, who said Manchester City have an agreement with Antoine Semenyo on the financials of a deal and remain confident about closing a transfer for the player, Bournemouth. That was last night. And then this morning, as I said to you earlier in the stream, guys, Simon Bajowski, again, great source when it comes to Manchester City news, is saying Manchester City are looking to wrap up the deal for Semenyo. They're in talks with Bournemouth today, and they want to try and negotiate this January transfer window. So apparently he's got a £65 million release clause. That release clause is rumoured to only be active for the first 10 days of the January window. And I think City are going to want to get this done like ASAP, mate. You know what I mean? Now, I think the rule is, obviously, the transfer window opens on January the 1st, yeah? I think the rule is he needs to get the contract signed by 12 p.m., midday, on Friday for him to be registered for the Chelsea game. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So you've got 2 days to sign him if you want him available for the Chelsea game. But yeah, where are you at with this Semenyo deal? I mean, we spoke about it a little bit last week, but have you had any more thoughts on it now that it's looking like it's going to happen?
I think my thoughts are still the same. I think it's a smart signing. Definitely, it's a good signing. I'm not ecstatic about it, but I'm still happy about it. Definitely, I think it's a good signing. I think it's a really sensible one. It's a smart one. It makes so much sense for so many reasons. There's no doubt it improves our squad. It gives us different options in different game states. The reason why I'm not like properly buzzing and ecstatic about it is because I don't think that he automatically comes in and makes a starting 11 better, but I don't think that is the point of this signing, in fairness. So
Agreed.
that's why I'm still more than happy about it, because not every single signing can be, okay, and now he's going to massively improve our starting 11. You need players who are going to just offer something different or improve the squad just generally as well. So I'm definitely happy about it. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of Semenyo. I think he makes a lot more sense than a Rodrigo would have done. I'm pretty bullish about him succeeding. And it's also just like on another note, it's nice when a player wants to join you, if that makes sense. So, and it's nice when a player clearly likes your club as well. And Semenyo clearly does want to join us. I think that's like an underrated aspect of signings. Like we should be very happy about players wanting to, being desperate to join us. I think that's really, really nice and positive for us as a club. I'm happy with it, and I think he's definitely takes his squads further forward 100%. I still have questions about what's going to be the impact of certain players in the short to medium term, but that's another issue for another day. Good, sensible signing. Happy.
Yeah, I mean, just to answer that question, it obviously means Bob's going on loan, doesn't it? Or maybe he'll be sold, but I think it's Bob, obviously, he's the one that's always dropped from the squad. I know he's injured, but he should be back by the end of this window, so I think he'll probably go. But no, I agree, man. I pretty much agree with everything you just said. I'm not hyping myself about it. I'm not here absolutely buzzing about the signing, but I think it's a good, solid signing. I think, that the main reason for me is that I think we should sign him is because Doku is so important to our team but we don't have anyone that can do anything similar to Doku, and we're spamming him out. And I'm really worried about Doku's sort of long-term fitness, because when you look at his injury record and look at his age, it's fucking worrying, mate. It's worrying, and we're spamming him out. Yeah, we're spamming him out. We're playing him every game, rightly so, at the moment, because he's fucking mega. But you can't do that for him for the rest of his career. Yeah, the guy will be cut by the guy. He'll be cut in 2-3 years. Yeah, if we keep doing this, the rate of injuries that he gets is not good. And so we need to sign someone to take the burden off us. Now, people will of course say, and it's a fair shout, well, I thought this was what Marmoush was meant to be doing. Well, Marmoush ain't doing it at the moment. Yeah, he's just not. So, park that conversation. We'll address that later on. Yeah, maybe that's a conversation for the summer if he doesn't get any minutes. But Semenyo, for me, yeah, I think this is an extremely smart signing. Price, I'm not bothered. It's maybe it's a little top heavy, but it's not crazy. Yes, maybe Bournemouth would say it's fair, whatever. Not asked anyway. He can play on the left, so he can cover me Doku. He can come off the bench for Doku. He can start for Doku, and you're going to get similar traits in terms of the way he can move the ball up the pitch. Obviously, no one's anywhere near Doku in terms of taking on ability. Yeah, he can score a goal. He's already got 9 Premier League goals this season.
Yes.
Would Doku, Bob, and Semenyo combined get 9 this year in the Premier League? Some people would say probably not.
Probably not.
That's really important. And then people will say, well, he's going to get those chances at Manchester City. He'll get chances at Manchester City. Savio gets chances in front of goal. Doku gets a few opportunities. Bob's had a few opportunities. Yeah, don't start doing this where you go, it won't get any chances at City because, coping and pretending like our wingers never get shots or never go through a goal. It's fucking bullshit. Yeah, they do go through and go. In fact, I think Savio had one at the weekend. Yeah, what I mean? So he can kill games. And this is where, again, sorry to bring Mahrez back into this, yeah, because people say I glaze on Mahrez, yeah. But people forget.
Do you like Mahrez, do you?
Bro, real talk, yeah. Fucking great. I think he's the greatest winger that's ever played for the club, man. I'll be real. Yeah, well, in my lifetime, anyway. But here's
You
the
should
thing,
put that
yeah.
artwork up, man.
No, because I like fucking throwing it at the camera.
Okay, fair enough.
But here's the thing. People forget this, yeah. But Mahrez got so many like important goals for this football club and killed games off of that. Yeah. And like we need that from other players. Now, luckily for us, obviously Foden's getting back to it this year. Turkey, I think, is going to bag loads of goals. So I think the need for a winger that scores goals is slightly less important than it was at the start of the season or last year. But I still think it's there. I still think it's an important thing. And of course, you know, whilst yes, Savio's played all right in the last 5 or 6 games, I still think it's quite far off what we're looking for from a winger at the moment. So I think this is a good deal. I think this is a smart deal for Manchester City. Yeah. And like you say, he wants to come to City. He's homegrown. Pep apparently really wants him. And Pep apparently, yeah, if you believe the news, Pep wants a winger that can score goals. You know, so, you know, we've had this conversation before about Haaland scoring a lot of the goals. That's actually eased back since we had that conversation about a month ago. You know, Foden's got a load. Cherki's getting on the score sheet. But we still probably need one more. So I just think it's great. And the last point I'll make on this as well, it gives us another option for going long. Yeah, because at the moment, if we go long, it's Haaland and Prey. Yeah, because, you know, Doku ain't going to win a header, is he? You know, nor Savinho. Foden's not. You know, you could now go long a lot more, yeah, to Semenyo and Haaland, and you can either go long to Semenyo, or you can go long to Haaland and have Semenyo. Because one of the problems that we have when we go long, and you've mentioned this a lot, it's a fair point, is okay, so you go long, Haaland wins the header, or you know, he chests it, maybe loses the ball a little bit in the midfield area. That's when you need your Bruno Guimaraes. Yeah,
second ball winners.
Second ball winners. That's what. Who we got in there? Right, and I know Semenyo's a winger, but if you go long, obviously he can tuck in and he can be that guy just for temporary time. Obviously, you hope to bring in Anderson in the summer and he'll be the guy. But I just think it works. I think it works, man. Yes. And I think that, you know, sometimes people get a little bit snobby, yeah, with the signings, and I do as well. You know what I mean? We all probably guilty of it at times. But I just think this is a smart deal, man. I do. I don't see a world in which this fails, man. He might not light up the Etihad or whatever, but I think this is going to be a solid deal. And he said he wants to win trophies. Fucking W mentality, man. Not here for the fucking, oh, I'm here, you know, it's Etihad, oh, this is great. Yeah, mama made it. Nah, I want to fucking win trophies, man. So big up to him. I think it's a solid deal, mate. Yeah, he scored again at the weekend. I think he got 3 goals in a row now in the Prem.
Yeah, because I know he went through like a period where he wasn't scoring a lot of goals, and people were like, oh, was he just purple patch? But no, he's clearly just a bit of a late bloomer, and I think that's the right word for it. He's a solid signing, and these are the signings that you need in order to construct title-winning squads. In fairness, so he may not be the sexiest name, and it may not be this supreme world-class level of player. Perhaps he will become that, but you don't necessarily need every single signing to be that. In fact, every single signing can't be that. Otherwise, you're not constructing a squad. You're doing what like Real Madrid tried to do in like the early noughties and failed doing it. So yeah, this you need signings like this in a squad. So I'm happy with it, and I rate him highly.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, mate. Let's have a look what you guys in the chat about. These are his stats this season, yeah. And again, I keep showing this, right? But I think this is this for me is exactly what I want to be seeing when we sign in a player. So if you start off at the 2023 season, right? First season in the Premier League, First proper season in the Premier League. That's a very, very respectable return for a first. Yeah. And what would he have been at that time? How old is he now? So he'd have been 23 there, yeah? You're in 23. So first season in the Premier League, 23 years old. That's very respectable. Year after, okay, can you get slightly better? Were you going to match it, or are you going to get worse? Well, massively outperforms. Yeah, adding 3 goals to his tally and doubling his assist again. That is great. And then this year, he's going to blow it out the water, man.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact conversation, but like someone in my chat when we were first linked with him said, "Oh, I don't want him. I want us to sign someone who's going to get as many goal contributions as Mahrez, that sort of thing." But and I'm not having a go at Mahrez before you shout at me. This is positive Semenyo, not negative Mahrez. But if you
go in prison, and you're getting named and shamed.
But if you have a look at like Mahrez's non-penalty goal contributions, like before City signed him, for Leicester, and you compare it to Semenyo's non-penalty goal contributions for Bournemouth, they're basically identical. Now, I'm not saying that Semenyo is going to go on and become Riyad Mahrez for City, but what I am saying is that they are definitely comparable, are their non-penalty goal contributions. So that's just like something to note, that Semenyo is capable of getting a lot of output for Bournemouth. So why can't he get a lot of output for City as well? I just wanted to do a bit of Semenyo defending there. That wasn't a Mahrez diss. Wasn't a Mahrez.
No. I hear it, man. I hear it. No, it's interesting, man. We'll see what happens with this transfer. It looks like it's going to work. It's going to go through pretty quick. I don't think City. I know. See a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people in the chat be saying, "LB, we should let him play against Arsenal." Nah. For me, you're overcomplicating things. I think just get him in. Focus on ourselves, man. You know what I mean? If we win every game for the rest of the season, yeah, we win the league. The league is in our hands. Fuck ours. We don't need to worry about Arsenal right now. Yeah, technically, obviously, the league's in their hands as well. Yeah, but if we win all our games, we win the league. So for me, forget Arsenal. Let's focus on ourselves. Let's get him in. Yeah, we freaking need him as well, by the way, because Doku's injured and Marmoush is still at AFCON. Let's get him in. Yeah, it's another body. Look at our bench at the weekend. Yeah, and you want to be leaving him at Bournemouth? No, get him in now, man. Get him into this team, and every day is another day that he can sort of bed into the side as well. So yeah, I think this is an interesting one, man. Let's see what you guys in the chat are saying on it. Darth says if he was playing for Inter Milan rather than Bournemouth, we'd be clamouring for him. Says Darth. Yeah, that's probably the snobbery that comes in, isn't it? God's Will says if he joins, we'll have Haaland, Foden, Cherky, Reinders, Doku, Semenyo, Gavardio scoring. Yeah, man. We got City for Life says spot on LB. We need to focus on ourselves. Okay. Yeah, but think of the banter of him sinking Arsenal. Yeah, it would be funny. Yeah, but at the same time, we need him in, bro. You know what I mean? Semenyo is the type of player I want. He could be like our Mane, says LaFun. What else we got? Semenyo should be the runners with Cherky and Foden behind to feed him. Yeah, we're top scorers in the league and we're adding the third highest scorer. Manny says, is there a way we can get Semenyo, Doku, Cherky, Foden starting together? Well, you could, but you'd have to play Cherky in the 8, wouldn't you?
I don't. I had this conversation with someone on Twitter. I think that you need Cherky to become a far more competent off-ball midfielder, as you say, for that to happen. And I don't think that's certainly too early now.
Yeah. Definitely not this season, but it would require Foden playing in the 8, Cherky in the advanced midfield position, and then obviously Doku and Semenyo on the wings.
Yeah.
But obviously, again, that's FIFA, isn't it? You know what I mean? Oh yeah, it looks mint, but does it actually work? Do you know what I mean? Like it might not work on.
I think it would be more optimal to pick 2 out of the 3 of Cherky, Semenyo, Doku. I think just pick 2 of those 3 as your like more advanced players. And then you're going to have a better time rather than trying to fit them all in.
That's naughty, that, bro. Against Wolves.
That's bullying.
Yeah. Sweet. All right, let's see what you guys in the chat say. Big up Net says Pep equals serious second, Teta equals serious shaver, Gillette. And he also says, and we all know the Juggernaut City our second half season. Well, that's typically been the case, hasn't it? And it was the case last year as well. You know what I mean? Even in our, probably our worst year in a decade. Yeah. Second half of the season, I think we're the best team on form. I think we're the best team in the Premier League on form in the second half of the season. I know Liverpool obviously dropped off to the end because they were out partying and whatever. Yeah, but stats are stats, right? We were technically the best team in the second half of the season. So yeah, this is why I've always said, man, I don't need to be top of the table at Christmas, man. Just get me within 5, 6, 7 points of whoever's top of the league. Yeah, and I'll back us. And I'm backing us now. I think we're going to do it, man. Because we're that close. And I still don't even feel like we've played that well this year, which is a positive, not a negative, yeah, because we're that close to the top of the table. Yeah, we're on an 8-match winning streak. And I still don't even think we played that well. I think we had a few good performances, yeah, before that Real Madrid game. I think it was Liverpool, Bournemouth, and maybe it was a Champions League match. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, I think we played well there. For the rest of it, I think we're playing all right. Against some of these teams, but I still don't even think we're out of second gear, man. I'll be real, guys. This is why I'm so confident, because I believe that at some point this year, we will click into gear and we will get out of second gear and we'll start fucking cooking. Yeah. Just a question of when, innit? Sweet. All right. Anything else from you, mate, on the Semenyo or anything else?
No, it's it's a sign that makes sense. Release clause, homegrown, versatile forwards, gets goals. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Sweet. All right, and guys, big up to you, man, for tuning in. We're live every Monday, 11 a.m. on the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Nobbins' channel as well. I'm live with Saeed in 5 minutes' time on his channel for Midday Live, where certain people like Don are going to get cooked.
Nice.
And I will, unless something comes up, which I don't think there's any plans, I should be doing an Egypt watch along for Marmouche at 4 p.m. I think it is 4 p.m. or half 4. I can't remember now, but it's around 4 o'clock on the second channel. Links in the description. So make sure you guys are following up that. Marius got a goal yesterday. I know he played well. Can Marmouche do it again today, man? So big up to you. Make sure you guys smash a like on the stream before you go. Over 1,000 people locked in with 50 likes away from 400. And I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.